What's up, guys? Welcome back to a new episode of Twins TV. As you can see, am I standing next to the powder-coated parts of the Ferrari with this? We're going to fix our engine compartment again, making it as good as new. That's why we're at Vivaldi, our go-to powder coater. They don't just powder coat rims, but really pretty much anything involving aluminum, metal, iron. They can powder coat and do CNC turning here as well. So you've really come to the right place. Just a good one. Words about this company. They deliver craftsmanship. Look at this. Looks incredibly good. As good as new. Better than new. Thank you. You're welcome. This isn't staged. The owner is just coming up now. Delivered a great result. Your employees did a perfect job. That's the most important. Credits to the workers. Just a small addition, guys. You might have seen in the footage that it was jingling at first. So it was actually with a kind of pigment on it. That's structure. Thank you, Victor. I personally prefer the smooth effect as it gives a more modern look. Please let me know what you think. It fits really tight, and we're now going to put our new gasket in between. Spread it on auto start. It's going to be awesome! Yes, welcome back to our workshop. We have our freshly powder-coated parts back, and it looks incredibly good. We've put it together for a visual, so the intake is complete. Of course, there will be new gaskets in between. It's going to be all fresh and fruity. Just check out our engine space. It's just a cobweb, really, from hoses, cables, wiring. It's unprecedented. We're going to start with this first, as it's still somewhat fresh in our memory. We'll figure it out. We faced hotter fires. If you can build a Lambo, you can put this together too, so just go for it. Let's go! I've removed the remaining gasket parts that were still stuck to the engine. Those gaskets were about 20 years old and a bit of oil, as you might remember. So there's quite a lot of oil in our intake. That also resulted in the suits becoming totally soft and basically being eaten away. Yeah, check this out. This is old and this is new. We also relaxed everything, cleaned and took a look inside the engine with an endoscope to see if something had fallen in. We found bits of gasket here and there, so we vacuumed those up too. So now we're 100% sure it's all clean there. It's time to start putting things together. I'm incredibly happy, because soon we'll have a super-looking engine space. Even as we look through it later, you can see for yourself. What a handsome intake. Wow, mind-blowing. Guys, we actually have a Ferrari. I'm still amazed. Before reassembling the intake, we decided to clean everything up nicely. As you can see, it was a huge difference. Vivaldi has neatly taped everything off so that no powder coat gets on the inside of the intake. We're going to re-tap all the threads. That means we're going to run a tap through them, so that later all bolts are neatly in place. Can go into the inlet, and that was really necessary since those threads were quite outdated. Then I'll reinstall the throttle body into the intake. We connect it on both sides at a certain RPM for maximum flow. Almost forgot the temperature sensor. We just swapped this one out, and there go our intake, guys. Clean and with new gaskets underneath. Our put back. We are also remounting the red caps, just masked with paper tape, so that we really don't damage anything. It would be a huge shame if it had to go back to the fields. Better to prevent than to cure. Yes, guys, welcome back. It's a new day here, and I am incredibly excited because I have just put the entire engine compartment together. New gaskets, new parts. What a job this was actually restored as it was, but how phenomenally beautiful it looks. The powder coat of Vivaldi does make a difference. Check out the beauty shots. The car was assembled here. Next, what we are going to do is naturally continue with our distribution. We'll replace that. It's quite worn out, outdated, rusty. Basically everything you can think of, our distribution has. We're going to lift the car now. because I have to make a special tool myself, a piece of equipment that I'll use to lock the flywheel. So I'll take you through that process. I'm curious if it will work out. I think it will. It's going to be an exciting thing again, about a plan that I'm going to make something to block the flying a lot, so yes, of course I am taking you with me. Let's go. The Ferrari is up. First thing I see is coolant on the ground. And of course, it makes sense that the coolant is on the floor, because yes, we did replace the water temperature sensor, and then a little bit of coolant leaked out. But as I just mentioned, I have to, so making a locking key. I'll say, sir, this field needs to be dismantled. I need to loosen the hex bolts, and then I approach the coupling area, and then I need to figure something out, where I can then block the flywheel with it. It should look something like this picture. And then with something protruding with which I can then block the flywheel. I don't think it's going to be a very tough job, but you never know, so yeah, we're moving forward. I'm excited, because without this, can't we just lock our crankshaft? Our crankshaft will start turning if we try to unscrew this, and that's why it needs to be blocked, like so. You can dismantle the pulley with that very large bolt, 36. So we need to block that. Let's go! Alright guys, I found a really nice piece of sheet metal from which I'm going to take out my special tool. I'll show you how it works. This is what I've mounted on the car. I'm going to tighten it up. Then I'll drill 2 holes in my piece of plate. Look how beautiful. This is some thick steel, this. But basically, I'm going to put in 2 bolts that will lock the flywheel from turning. This bolt, which is attached here, will actually be tightened and loosened with 200 Newton meters. So that's quite a lot of power on it. So it really has to be a big piece of steel. Let's fabricate something, and I'm curious if it will work. Get loose! After quite a bit of fitting and measuring, I finally managed to make the special tool. This is what it looks like. Really, it's not that strange, as long as it works, right? Look, if all goes well, it should fit right here between the ends without any play. Look here. Like this. I've also adjusted the bolts just right, so it fits perfectly in terms of height, how it falls into place. Well, I'd say, let's secure it and see if we can get our wrench off the nut, or wrench off the bolt, I should say, because it's stuck, so 196 Newton meters, and that's quite a bit. But you can imagine that a car wheel is fastened with 115, 120, 140 if it's a Jeep. So yeah, that's, and much more. Then actually a car wheel is tightened, and those can already be quite tight, so yes, something like that has to be really sturdy, and hopefully my bolts won't bend because then still can't get the crankshaft assembly loose. We'll see. We're going to mount this and see if we can get the crankshaft assembly loose. Let's go. Yes, he's working, he's going off. Alright guys, moment of truth. Will the pulley come off? Well, the bolt definitely falls out. We have it, this is it. Ah, that pulley. For some, it's still firmly in place. I'm curious if it's the same with mine. Yes, this thing. Some people are stuck wall to wall. It just comes off, yes. Yes, look. Yes, guys, we did it! He's gone. He's off. The locking key helped, guys. With this positivity, I want to close this episode. We've worked super hard to make this episode happen. Look at that. Knowing the rebuild of the intake takes about 4 to 5 hours, and that's just insane. So weirdly a lot. You might have seen a 30-second clip of it. And yes, that takes quite a lot of time. We've indicated that in this episode we're going to dismantle the distribution. Unfortunately, we're not going to do that in this episode. Because of that is quite a bit of work, and you don't want to leave such a job sitting for a few days. You want to keep it fresh in memory. And that's why we've decided to end the episode here. We can also start the car in the next episode, because the intake is mounted, the injectors have been checked. The new gaskets have been installed. So guys, we're so hyped, and we'll soon find out if this was the cause of the car running poorly. Stay tuned, don't forget to subscribe, hit a like, and let us know in the comments what you think of this episode, and how it can be improved, of course. That supports us the most. See you soon. Bye.